Okay, here we have Kylie working on her hop hurdle that we were just working on. We're just learning this spring. We've noticed a few things. So last year her hop hurdle was a little too fast on the board, and I continually had to remind her she needed to slow down. So we're changing it up into more of a lift drop type hurdle. And this is the first series of drills we're doing. So to start with, we're going to look at the video on the left. I'll just play it all the way through. Oops, we're playing them together, I guess. So the differences are subtle, but they've shown to be detrimental. However we want to put that, and we'll teach it. Sync them back up here. Should be pretty close now. Boom. So the biggest thing that I've noticed that is making the biggest impact is just that degree, in that two-step hop, being able to make her hold a better position. If you notice over here on the right-hand side, if you look at her back is much flatter, opposed to over here on the right side where she's just got that little arch. What I've seen to be like the greatest factor there, if you look at the ankle position, where there her heel is down, which helps her flatten out and emphasize more push on the back foot, where there the ankle position is up. So, if you measure the angles aren't that much different. From knee to hip. On this side, her knee to shoulder, she's about 75, 74. Over here, about the same thing, but that body shape makes a world of difference. 69. So she's just a little more forward on the one on the left. But I see a huge difference in that back leg. So the back leg, when I measured that earlier, it was about an 80-degree angle, whereas the knee on this one over here, that's a 20-degree difference. Just that amount of stability of pushing on the back foot allows her to drive that hop step up more. Boom. Boom. So even there, you can hear the feet are crossing each other about the same time. So if I measure, at the hip, down to there, and then once again up to the shoulder, there she's forward about 175 degrees. Where if we go back here when the feet cross, hip to shoulder, she's at about 180 degrees. Which makes a big difference. She goes through and swings through here, just finishing off the way she's doing her modeling. But that's what I found to be the biggest issue so far when going back and redirecting this hurdle. So I'll play it slow motion all the way through. And one more time. Like I said, the differences are subtle, but they've been making a big difference when we move it to the trampoline or to the diving board. Right here we have the next video in the series. It's Kylie again, working on her hop hurdle. This time she's doing a full walk model. I'll go ahead and play it for you full speed.
Up, heel down, boom, right there.
Okay, play it some slow motion.
Up, heel down, boom, right there.
There again, we're just focusing on making sure she drives that heel down. in that last step. So basically, like I said, this is to slow her down. She's walking at a considerably slower pace than she was before. As she approaches that final step, she's taking 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, boom. So then if you watch, she's going to lift up onto the ball of her foot. Up onto the ball of her foot, essentially, lifting her mass up in the air. I'd like to see her go a little bit higher before she drops, but, it's a process. Lifting up, and then as she lifts up, she's going to drop her heel down quick. So it's not like the traditional hop that you see in a lot of the hop hurdles. I don't want her hopping. I want her lifting her gravity up just with her foot, and then dropping her weight quickly onto that back leg. That's opposed to the hop, where people are hopping and then carrying a lot of forward momentum forward. I'm trying to get rid of that, keep her balance up and down. As you see, as she swings through, her back's reasonably flat. She still shifts her weight just a little bit through there. I just kind of wanted to show what's going on in that last step. So she's stepping in that last step. She's lifting up onto her ankle. Up. And then drop. Up, drop. So opposed to trying to carry as far forward as she can, I want her to almost be putting that foot down in the same spot. And that's going to force her to drive up more on the, out of her 2-step in the hurdle. She's swinging through here. There's where we were in the previous video. The upper body, knee to hip, knee to shoulder, 74, so she's consistent there. Ankles up a little bit, but if you go back to that initial point of contact, right there, right around that knee. So it's going to help keep her in a good spot. The other thing, working on is just making sure that as she pops, that she lets her chest extend up. There she's still pushing forward to try and travel to the end. I'd like to see her with a little more chest up as she's switching through. A little taller, almost feeling like she's balanced back. Just that way she can connect the end of the board and not be worried about forward momentum tossing her off balance.